Hey, what's up? So today I'm going to be comparing these mini rock crawlers. I have the Axial SCX24, the Axial Capra UTB 18, and the TRX4M. I will be doing a few different tests to see which one does better. Hopefully it will help you decide which one you should buy. All three of these come with LED headlights. You can see in the front right there, and this one has quite a few. So this one right here is a 24th scale, this one is a 1/18 scale, this one is also 1/18 scale. This one is actually smaller than I thought it would be. It's pretty close to this size. The tires are the exact same size. This one isn't too much wider. This one might be kind of a small for 1/18 scale. This one is pretty big for 1/18 scale, so I don't think either one of these are really 1/18 scale. Maybe this should be 1/20th, this should be 1/16th. I'm not sure, but they're both listed as 1/18 scale. This one, the price point is about 120 to 130. This one you can get with different bodies, and it could be anywhere from, I got this one for 100 on sale, and they go all the way up to about 160 depending on what body you get. This one you can get with the Bronco body or the Defender body. I was trying to get the Bronco body, but my hobby shop had this one left, so I got it. Both of them are 150. This one is $250. You can get it same body, but there's two different colors you can get. To take the body off this one, it's just two clips in the front, and the body flips back. This one comes with a 2S LiPo. It has a speak and chore and ESC in one. There is a micro servo in the front, and it's got a small motor right here. It's a brushed motor. To take the body off this one is pretty easy. You just reach underneath and you feel the clips, and it comes right off, and then it snaps back on pretty easy. There's a clip right here, and there's a clip right here. So this comes with a 180 87 tooth motor. It's bigger than the SCX24. Has a micro servo as well. This one is slightly bigger than the SCX24. Battery pack goes right here. It's a 2S LiPo, comes with it. And this one also has a speak and chore and receiver built in. This one, you can't really take the body off. You'd have to unscrew these panels to get to the motor. But if you look right here, it's kind of hard to see. There's a bigger motor in here. It's about a 380 size. This has a 1/10 scale servo. And I believe the receiver and speak and chore are built into one, and is here in the back. There's a switch to turn it on right here in the back too. To put the battery in, you just open the front hood by pushing up the bottom right here, and that just clips on right here. So that is right there, and you just push on that to open it. And then you can disconnect the battery right here. And this just slides out the front like that. Alright, so now I want to check the servo. I first start by checking the speed. That one's pretty quick. That one is slower. That one probably is the slowest by a little bit. The TRX4 is just slightly faster, it looks like. But this does have bigger tires, but this also has a 1/10 scale servo. So there's some potential to put some really powerful servos in this. Next, I want to check servo torque. I feel like the easiest way would be to lay it down and see if it could lift itself. I'll lay it down like this and see what it can do. Alright, so it's a fast servo, but it's not able to lift itself. Now the TRX4. That one's able to get full turn. That one's pretty torquey. And now the Capra. It doesn't look like it, but it is actually getting full turn. It's just this doesn't turn very sharp. So that's quite a bit of torque too. Alright, so another thing I wanted to point out is the SCX24 does not have oil-filled shocks. It's pretty bouncy. TRX4 does have oil-filled shocks. It's pretty lightweight oil, bounces back pretty quick. The Capra is oil-filled shocks, but if you compress it all the way, it takes a little bit to come back. I think this would do better with a little bit lighter oil. And this one, when you push it down, it doesn't really bounce back too much. Alright, next thing I want to point out is build quality. And SCX24, it doesn't feel the best only because of the shocks, but there's not a whole lot of play in the suspension. Maybe a little bit right here, you could see that. Same thing in the rear, there's not as much. Alright, for the TRX4, the only play I'm feeling is actually in the body, not in the suspension. There's a little bit of side-to-side play, but very little. There's more in the back. A little bit this way too. Not too much over here. But the reason I bring this up is because of this. This has a lot of play. Side to side and front to back like this. Same thing in the rear. There just seems like a little bit too much play. You can actually see the axle twist a little bit when I accelerate. If you look right here at the servo, you could see it jump up and down when I accelerate. It's kind of hard to see, especially because the lights might be able to see that rocking back and forth a little bit right there. Next, I want to go over the controllers. SCX24 comes with a Axial AX4. Pretty basic controller. It's got all the controls up here. On the Axial, on both of them, you can actually change your throttle input from low, medium, and high, which is kind of nice. You can give it to a beginner and it'll give it less power. You can also have dual rate on here, so if you want to change how much it steers, you can turn this down and it will turn very little. Turn it all the way up and it's going to turn all the way. So that is pretty nice. It includes the 4 AA batteries you need. They just go right here. Traxxas transmitter. To me, it's the most comfortable. It is very basic though. All you have is steering trim, and you could use some settings to reverse steering. We had to look that up, but you won't need to do that anyways. No Bluetooth or anything like that. None of these do. So, and there's no dual rate, so you can't control the steering other than the trim. And it just has 4 AA batteries. And then for the Capra, comes with a Spectrum controller. I actually probably like this one the least because it's kind of hard just to stand it up on this little thing. If you don't stand it up just right, it's going to fall over every time. It does have your 50%, 75%, 100% throttle. This also has steering rate, so you can change this. So it just turns a little bit, turn it up, and it turns more. Alright, I thought I would start out with a drag race to see which one's faster. They can reach top speed on my workbench. I will start out with the two smallest ones. And I'm gonna stop them both at the same time because I don't have that much coordination. Alright, ready, set, go. So TRX4M. Alright, now it's the TRX4 against the Capra. Ready, set, go. Oops. Well, the Capra won, but TRX4 had pretty good acceleration until it hit top speed. Okay, so up next, I'm going to check the turning radius since most of these RCs will be used inside. Except for the Capra, that could probably be used outside. Of course, any of these can, but I would think most people are buying them just to play around on their desk or something. So, tighter turning radius would be better. I'll start with the SCX24, and I'm going to drive slow so the tires don't slip as much. And it almost made a full U-turn, but I'm just going to measure from the outside of the tire to the clip where it started. And it was about 30 inches. Alright, up next is the TRX4. And that's about 26.5 inches. This one made a lot wider turns, so I had to change the camera. So this was 49 inches. Okay, so next I'm going to do an articulation test. And I'm going to score this exactly how they score real trucks, which is the distance traveled up the ramp. This is a 20-degree ramp. So you take the distance traveled up the ramp, divide it by the wheelbase, and then multiply that by 1,000. And you'll end up with a score. And the higher the score, the better. If you can get your rear tire past the ramp, you're going to have a score of over 1,000. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and set it on here and see where we're at. All the tires have to be touching the ground. Okay, so for the Axial SCX24, we're at 4 1/4, so that's 4.25. Okay, so the wheelbase on this Axial is 5.25 inches, and it went 4.25 inches up on the ramp, which brings the score to this got a 809 score. Up next is TRX4. And that's okay if the tire compresses, as long as the tires are all touching the ground. So this one looks like it is. Maybe just back a hair. Alright. Yeah, they're all touching now. So this one went up the ramp 6 1/8. So the wheelbase is 6.1 inches, and it went up 6.125 inches. So this scored 1,004. Alright, up next is the Capra. So this went up 11.5 inches. The wheelbase is 9 inches. So this one scored 1,277. So this one definitely has the most articulation. Okay, next I will see which one will climb the steepest hill. And I will start out at 35 degrees. No problem. Also no problem. Alright, next one. Alright, 35 degrees is easy. Okay, so it's set to 40 degrees now. Okay, so the TRX4 started to drag the back a little bit. And it looks like it's lifting the front tire. No problem. Okay, now it's set to 43 degrees. The back's definitely dragging now. And it looks like it's lifting a tire, so we're on 3 wheels. But it still made it up. Alright, that one holds no problem. This one does not hold on a hill though, it will roll back. Okay, so now we're at 45 degrees. Looks like this one's still doing good. Now it's really dragging the back. See if it could even go. Yeah, it still went. I think this is the limit. Let me see if I can start it on the hill. No, it tips back. Yep, there's no way. I'm not sure if the Bronco would do better. I think it would because it doesn't have this on top. Alright, let's try this one. Alright, no problem on this. Alright, now we are at 47 degrees. Still going. No problem for this one either. Alright, now I'm at 50 degrees. Alright, looks like we're lifting a tire off the ground, but it's still going up. Alright, looks like no problem for that thing. Alright, so now I'm at 52 degrees. Oh. Let's try it again. Oh, it's still doing it. Definitely lifting a tire. I think if I stop, no, it's still going. Wow. That is still climbing, no problem. Alright, so now I'm at 54 degrees. Let's see if it'll do it. Let's give it one more shot. No, it just tips back. So 52 was the limit on that one. And still doing it, no problem. Now we're at 56 degrees. It's still going. I think it wants to lift though. Now we're at 57 degrees. I think this will be the limit, but we'll see. Wow. It is still climbing at 57 degrees. I think the thing that's making it roll back is this little bump right here in this material. We're now at 58 degrees. Let me see if it'll even... No, it just wants to flip back. So 57 degrees, that's pretty impressive. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and try a side angle, and I'm starting out at 26 degrees. And what I want to do is just drive across and make sure it doesn't flip. Alright, that one was no problem. Alright, now the TRX4. And it's lifting one tire. Alright, now the Capra. No problem. Now I'm at 28 degrees since the TRX4 was already lifting the tire. No problem. Alright, now TRX4. Okay, that seemed to be okay too. Not sure why it was lifting the tire the first time. Now the Capra. No problem. Now we're at 30 degrees with the SCX24. No problem. TRX4. Seemed to be okay. It looked like it might be lifting this tire. Yep. Now the Capra. Alright, no problem. Alright, SCX24 at 33 degrees. Alright, no problem. Alright, TRX4 at 33 degrees. Alright, still made it. Capra at 33 degrees. No problem. SCX24 at 35 degrees. Let's try it one more time. No, I think that's the maximum. I think it hits the little tiny bumps and that's enough to knock it over. TRX4 at 35 degrees. No. TRX4, second try, 35 degrees. Nope, that one's out too. Capra at 35 degrees. Alright, still made it. Capra at 37 degrees. Alright, add a steer to keep it up. Capra at 40 degrees. Wow. Capra at 43 degrees. Wow. Oh. Let's try it one more time. Nope. Alright, so I'm going to see which one can crawl the slowest. Alright, that's the slowest I can get that one to go. Alright, yeah, I can't get it to go any slower. So now TRX4, let's see how I can get slow I can get this. Looks like it's a little bit faster. Yeah, that one's a little bit faster. Now for the Capra, let's see how slow I can get it to go. Yeah, that one's pretty quick. I can't get it to crawl very slow. Yeah, that's as slow as I can get it to go. I built a little mini course from a 2x4. That was one 2x4. I just cut a design in there. And you can make multiple courses with it just by turning it around. So let's see how it does. This will be pretty hard, probably for the SCX24. Let's see if it'll do it. Alright, let's give it a shot. Nope. Okay, there we go. Alright, it made it. Same setup with the TRX4. Alright, was easier for this one so far. Alright, made it. So now I'm going to try the Capra, which is probably going to be pretty easy with how big the tires are. Okay, that was easy. So which one do you guys like the best? Which one are you going to get, or which one do you have? Let me know in the comments. When the Bronco does come available again, I will try to get one. These things are selling like crazy, so it's hard to get one. As soon as I can, I'm going to get one so I could do more testing, the Bronco versus Defender. I just don't know when I'll be able to get a Bronco. One thing I forgot to mention is you can check to see if these are at storage charge for the Axials. But I don't know how you're supposed to check to see if this is at storage charge unless you just use a voltmeter. I don't know why they did this. The charger, you cannot put it to a storage charge. So I just have to check this with a voltmeter and then run it down till it's at storage. So I think that is a mistake. Unless they are planning out coming out with a charger that'll put this at storage. But these, I could check them with a cell checker and know exactly where they're at. And if you were curious, after all the testing I did, I only charged these up one time. Traxxas batteries were at 4 volts per cell. The SCX24 battery was at 3.7 volts per cell. And the Capper battery was at 3.75 volts per cell. Biggest battery did last longest, of course. One thing I want to note on the Traxxas, while I was trying to kill the battery to put it back to a storage charge, if you are full throttle and you turn, watch what happens. It's only if you turn all the way. So I know they were going for the tightest turning radius, but maybe they went a little too far. Alright, so that's going to be it for this video. Please like and subscribe.
20 minutes later.